Vizcaya Mansion, 1916, unfold as a long, layered narrative of ambition, illusion, secrecy, and quiet decay that begins in the early 20th century, when industrialist James Deering, vice president of International Harvester and one of America's richest men, chose the remote mangrove swamps of Miami's Biscayne Bay to construct an estate that would rival the great European villas he admired. And in 1916, Vizcaya was completed as a winter retreat deliberately designed to look centuries old despite being brand new, a calculated illusion achieved through imported Italian stone, reclaimed architectural fragments, artificial aging techniques, and European artisans brought to Florida, all orchestrated by designer Paul Chalfin and architect F. Burrell Hoffman. Yet beneath the elegance lay darker truths, because Vizcaya was built on unstable, mosquito-infested land plagued by disease, where laborers, many of them immigrants and black workers, endured extreme heat, malaria, and hazardous conditions with injuries and deaths that were rarely documented, quietly absorbed into the project's progress. While Deering demanded perfection regardless of cost, the mansion itself was conceived as a controlled fantasy, blending Renaissance grandeur with modern technology, including hidden steel reinforcements, early elevators, electricity, and plumbing. But these innovations led to frequent mechanical failures, electrical fires, and near-fatal accidents during construction and early use. Incidents that staff were instructed never to discuss publicly, reinforcing a culture of silence that became central to Vizcaya's identity. Deering, a deeply private and reclusive man whose health steadily declined, lived surrounded by servants but emotionally isolated, using Vizcaya not as a family home but as a carefully staged environment where every movement, sightline, and interaction was controlled. And servants later described strict rules, locked areas, and sudden dismissals for minor disobedience, while certain rooms were permanently restricted without explanation, leading to rumors of confidential medical treatments, private meetings, or emotional breakdowns hidden behind closed doors. During World War I, Vizcaya quietly became a place of strategic interest due to its coastal location, with increased patrols in Biscayne Bay and whispered concerns about espionage, as Deering hosted influential guests while Europe burned, creating an eerie contrast between luxury and global catastrophe. And servants recalled nights when lights were left burning in unused rooms and guards were posted without explanation, deepening the sense that Vizcaya was never merely decorative but watchful. The mansion's gardens, celebrated for their beauty, carried their own darker symbolism, designed as allegorical spaces representing time, decay, and mortality, with statues of dying gods, crumbling arches, and deliberate ruin motifs that mirrored Deering's awareness of his failing health, turning Vizcaya into a meditation on impermanence disguised as paradise. While hurricanes repeatedly battered the estate, destroying sculptures, flooding rooms, and killing livestock, incidents Deering interpreted not as natural disasters but as reminders that control was always temporary. After Deering's death in 1925, Vizcaya entered a period of neglect and uncertainty, stripped of furnishings, looted by opportunists, and battered by storms and humidity, while caretakers reported strange occurrences such as footsteps in empty halls, doors opening on their own, sudden cold drafts, and the sensation of being observed, particularly in the servants' corridors and private chambers. Incidents often dismissed as imagination but persistent enough to become part of local lore. During the Great Depression, Vizcaya stood as a decaying symbol of excess, too expensive to maintain and too significant to abandon, reflecting the collapse of the Gilded Age ideals that created it, while Miami grew around it, transforming the once isolated estate into a silent observer of urban expansion, social inequality, and political change. When Vizcaya eventually became a public museum, visitors admired its beauty but often reported an emotional heaviness, a sense that the mansion felt staged yet haunted, alive yet empty, as if it remembered every whispered command, every accident, every secret agreement made within its walls. And historians increasingly recognized that Vizcaya's true secret was not a single scandal or ghostly event but its deliberate construction as an illusion of timeless stability in a world defined by rapid change, labor exploitation, illness, and impermanence. Today, Vizcaya stands as one of America's most photographed estates, its reflection shimmering on Biscayne Bay, yet beneath the marble floors, manicured gardens, and pastel facades lies a deeper truth, that Vizcaya was never meant to be a home, but a controlled dream built by a man racing against mortality, shaped by unseen labor, protected by silence, and slowly reclaimed by nature, proving that even the most beautiful places can be born from hardship, sustained by secrecy, and haunted not by spirits, but by the human desire to freeze time, deny decay, and leave behind something perfect in a world that never allows perfection to last. Vizcaya was built on swamp land infested with mosquitoes, and workers regularly suffered from malaria, heat stroke, and infections. Several laborers reportedly died during construction due to illness and accidents, but records were incomplete and quietly ignored to protect James Deering's public image. Secret tunnels and corridors were built so servants could move unseen. Some workers became trapped or injured during early construction when tunnel supports failed, an incident rarely documented but remembered in staff accounts. One of Vizcaya's early electrical systems malfunctioned, causing a fire that spread through service areas. The blaze was contained before reaching the main rooms, but the incident was never reported publicly, reinforcing the mansion's culture of secrecy. As Deering's health declined, servants reported him wandering the gardens at night, speaking to no one, sometimes refusing assistance. These episodes were deeply unsettling and fueled rumors of psychological decline. During World War I, Vizcaya's coastal location led to increased patrols and security. Staff recalled armed guards and unexplained late-night meetings, sparking rumors of strategic or political secrecy. Multiple hurricanes severely damaged Vizcaya, destroying statues, flooding rooms, and collapsing garden structures. These events were viewed by Deering as symbolic omens rather than disasters. After Deering's death, caretakers reported footsteps, doors opening, lights appearing in empty rooms, and sudden temperature drops, especially in servant corridors and private wings. Following Deering's death and during the Great Depression, Vizcaya was looted. Priceless objects vanished, rooms were stripped, and the estate fell into guarded neglect. Former servants described extreme pressure, isolation, and fear of dismissal. Some quit suddenly and refused to return, contributing to Vizcaya's dark reputation. The deliberate design of false ruins disturbed visitors and workers, many believing the estate was intentionally created as a monument to decay rather than luxury.